What's up, everybody? It's Mikey here with Love Journey Music, taking a break in the studio today to bring you 6 things that you can do to start recording better music at home. Let's get into it. Welcome back, everybody. So, 6 things you can do to start recording better music at home. I got my cheat sheet here in front of me so I don't forget. So, number 1, we are going to talk about the vibe. You got to get the vibe right, man. So, I've been in studios from all over the world, from California, Texas, New York, my home studio here in Kentucky, tons of studios in Nashville. And every single one of them, whether it's just like a producer's place or a big studio facility, you know, they all have their own unique vibe and flavor. And for me personally, and I think for most creatives, we are most creative when, you know, we feel relaxed and we're in a good vibe and we're in a good environment. You know, so for me, I have everything from, you know, a coffee maker to my old bourbon barrel here to vintage guitars on the walls. I've got, you know, little Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle toys that are vintage from when I was a kid. You know, just silly stuff from my career on the walls, you know, plaques and things like that. You know, just whatever it is that puts you in a good vibe and puts you in a good place and a good zone and, you know, gets you creative. Yeah, I think we're all more creative when we're relaxed and we're in a good environment and a good vibe. So get your vibe right. Yeah, man. So number 2, this is a tricky one for creatives. I know it is for me. It's a huge stumbling block, but I try to give myself a deadline for every project I'm doing. You know, if we're working for labels or clients or radio teams or whatever it is, we have to hit deadlines. And so what I've done at home when I'm working with an indie artist or if I'm writing a song just on my own, you know, whatever the case may be, I give myself a deadline, even if there's not one. And it really helps keep me creative. It keeps me on track. It pushes me forward. It keeps me from being lazy and think, oh, I'll do that tomorrow. So I just usually make a schedule on Sunday night. You know, talk to my wife, see what the kids have got going on. We got like a family calendar, and it's a deadline. You know, it's a race to the finish line. You know, to get these songs over the finish line and do it well. So yeah, I think number 2, give yourself a deadline. So 3. Oh, this one is something that's been, I guess, easier in the pandemic in some ways, and in some ways has been a lot more tricky for creatives to get in a room with creatives. But number 3 on the list is collaborate more. I think it's easy for me, especially in 2020, 2021, to come down to my studio here in the basement of my house, shut the door, get lost creating with just myself. And sometimes it turns out great. Sometimes I wind up twiddling my thumbs for 30 minutes trying to, you know, catch a vibe of a track or whatever it is that I'm working on. So it keeps me creative. I think it keeps the projects better, write better songs when I'm collaborating with other artists. So I think the internet makes that the most obvious and the most easiest thing to reach out to other artists, other creatives, producers, guitar players, whatever it is that you need on your track, writers. You know, hit those people up on Instagram, on Facebook, whatever social media you're using. And I think we'd be surprised at how many people are also looking for work. They're looking for opportunities just like we are. And it's a fun thing to, you know, meet new friends and make better music. So I would say number 3 is try to collaborate more. All right, moving on to number 4. This one is a little tricky because we also have jobs. We have day jobs, some of us do. We have marriages, we have mortgages, we have kids, you know, we have all these schedules and things that we're juggling throughout our week. But I think number 4 needs to be on the list is, you know, work and record and create with a sense of urgency. You know, when I take my kids to school, you know, if I'm listening to the radio with them or Spotify or Apple Music or whatever it is, and, you know, I get an idea. When I drop them off at school, I try my best to, you know, pull over, grab my phone, record a voice note, you know, do a little video on my phone, whatever it is so I can reference the idea later when I get into my studio. And, you know, I try to record those ideas as fast as I can because the quicker we get that stuff down to tape, the farther away from the inspirational moment that we get, I think the trickier it is to get an idea or a song across the finish line. At least for me, that's the case. So I work and record and create with a sense of urgency, and that works for me. So number 5, I think this is one for life, not just music, not just recording and that sort of thing, but life is, never stop learning. We can get used to how, our guitar amp sounds, and that's the rut that we get stuck in. We can get used to a certain snare drum sample that we just love on our tracks, and then that becomes, a thing that causes these static moments where we don't feel very creative. Or we, refuse to venture out into a new software or a new plugin because of whatever the reason is. And, it's a stumbling block for us. So I think never stop learning. I mean, a good example for me that I could give to you is a new plugin recently that I heard of called Arcade. So I download this plugin. It's like $8 or $9 a month. It's like a sample-based thing. And I was just trying it out. I got hired by a client to write a song, produce a song. And so I'm, in the studio. I'm feeling a little creatively maybe drained in the moment. So I download this plug-in program, pull up this, it's like a bank of sounds. It's sample based, so you press a button, it triggers a sample, and then you can manipulate that sample. And man, it was so inspirational. And there was a little learning curve for sure, but had I failed to try it or didn't want to take the time to learn the software or whatever it was, I wouldn't have had what turned out, I think, to be a great track, a great song for the client that I was working with. And they loved it and ended up hiring me to do more songs. So never stop learning, man. I think that's a huge one. And number 6, this one should go without saying, great songs, right? We got to have great songs. So I think, creativity and songwriting, it's a muscle. It's a creative muscle that we got to flex and we got to work out on a daily basis, especially when you're just getting started. Even for me, I've been doing this for, almost 20 years now, longer. And, it's a muscle that I've got to flex every single day. Songwriting is definitely not like riding a bike in my experience. It's something we got to keep pushing. We got to keep perfecting our craft, and, study the craft and just keep working hard and putting out great music. That's not to say don't put out a song because you don't think it's great. I put out tons of songs that I don't think is great. But I think the idea is just flexing that creative muscle. Maybe a better way to say it is write more songs, instead of great songs, because I think more songs leads to great songs. So anyways, that's it. I'm Mikey coming at you from Love Journey Music, just taking a break in the studio today. I hope you enjoyed that. 6 things to be more creative, 6 things to record better music in your home studios. I work in my home studio every day, so I get the pros and cons for sure. So maybe that's a video in the future that we'll talk about. But anyways, I hope you like the video. Like, subscribe, share, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.